What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of The Life Creative. I'm your host, Peter Whittam. You can find me at peterwhittam.com, as always, along with previous episodes of this video/slash podcast. In this episode, I want to talk a little bit about idealism versus reality. So, what am I talking about here? Well, a new photo service came out. It's a new app, right? And this app's called Glass. And I'll put a link in the show notes. It's a fantastic idea. The idea is behind the creators of some other very well known photo apps, photo services owned by some social media companies. We'll leave it at that. But their ideas are good, right? Now, the idea being that it's not about the ratings, it's not about, popularity or anything like that. It's just straight up here's an image, and people get to comment if they want to, and you can share them and that, but it's really all about the images, which of course is how everything starts. And I don't mean that to be a cynical thing. I really want this to be a good service. Now, it is a paid service, and I got about a couple of days left on my trial. I haven't uploaded images yet. I just wanted to see the kind of images people were uploading, and it's interesting that it got me to thinking about this problem, because the problem is that the suggestion is when you sign up for this app is only upload your best stuff, right? That's the idea. Don't upload everything, upload your best stuff. But that's where the problem begins, because every single one of us, our definition of quote unquote best stuff is going to be different. And that's a problem, right? Now, on the one hand, I'm willing to pay for a service where I don't get what I'm going to call you know, the Instagrammy kind of here's every photograph I've ever taken, and most of them are really terrible. Sorry, folks, but it's true, right? If there's one problem with everybody having a camera is lots of people take just pictures that are kind of questionable. Why would you take this photograph? And they're just terrible. And I'm sorry, I know how that sounds, but that's the truth of it, right? I'm really looking for a service that's, hey, here are good quality photos that I can look at, appreciate, contribute to, learn from, all of those kind of things. Now, hopefully, a paid service means some of those folks who, don't really want to pay for these things, don't value their images as that much, will continue to use the free ones. And I know again how that sounds. I'm sure this episode's going to make a lot of people unhappy, but I'm just telling you the truth of it, right? We need more truth on the internet. So that's what I'm hoping. But already, just from the people that are on there, you're seeing what I call the Instagrammy photos. And that's a problem, right? Because who are we, or how do we decide when a photograph is, supposed to be your best stuff and allowed to be uploaded to a service? That's the problem right there, right? If we go down this route of, and I'm not saying Glass is doing this, but I'm just saying, what if? What if there was some kind of validation process or something like that that determined if an image was acceptable, let's just say acceptable to be uploaded to a service where you're saying this is one of my best images, something along those lines. This is my top quality portfolio versus my other stuff that I don't think's that great, and I'll put it somewhere else. And the problem is you can't, right? Because how do you judge that? What kind of values do you put? What aesthetic values, what artistic values do you put on an image to say this picture of a piece of meat on a table is art, or just a picture of a piece of meat on a table? It's going to be different, right? There are going to be different evaluations for everybody. That's the problem. And I'm already seeing this on this service, even though it's invite only at the moment. This bothers me. And this really has me questioning, okay, is it just going to be end up being another thing where, there's lots of just images thrown up, just another service that becomes, I don't want to say less, it's not special in any way, just another dumping ground for images. And this, which is exactly what I'm not looking for. And I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. I really want Glass to work, and I really think that these, the creators are onto a good idea, and I fully support it. But like everything on the internet, you are at the mercy of people who use it. And that's always the problem with any service, whether it's paid or especially if it's free. That usually never works out. So I just wanted to share those thoughts in this episode. Me, I'm going to be uploading what I think are my worthy images, which is a very small fraction of the photos that I shoot. I'm very critical of my own work, and I get it. It's still my opinion, but I would say less than a tenth of the images that I shoot, I put out there for people to look at. And I think that we need to have this kind of self regulatory, is this really worthy putting it up there, or is this just a snapshot? So, something for you to think about in this episode. I'm sure it's going to be controversial. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is, right? I'm always honest when I put content out. I always give you my honest opinions and honest thoughts. For me, I'm going to continue to look at Glass for a few days before my yearly subscription kicks in. I'll put a link in the show notes if you're interested in, applying to be one of the testers, well, one of the early adopters for it. I really wish them the best. With that, I'll see you in the next episode.